Welcome back, hunters. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return Monster Hunter World Iceborne Community Edition. We do have what I think is the last story beat for base world ahead. However, just like I tackled before I did the Elder Dragons, there's an outlier monster that honestly feels like a bit of a misfit for world, just with how weirdly it's been handled. Like, if we go into the hunter notes and to the large monster list, everything goes along pretty smoothly for the first couple pages until this spot. And then it continues again, no problem like that. And the weird thing is what monster this one actually is. Because this is an Elder Dragon. This is actually Kirin. But unless you've done like a specific few optional quests, you don't unlock the hunt in low rank just by playing through the story. And in high rank, the only way you unlock its hunt is by basically finding all the tracks that the other Elder Dragons had, but on the Coral Highlands. But there's nothing to have like directed you to specifically trying for that. It feels like just a really weird extra inclusion that they just decided, we need something else for this other area. Kirin is just tossed in. It's there. Whatever. It's, again, really weirdly handled for World. Another thing, too, is I think Kirin just in general has been a little weirdly handled, but more so the skeleton for it. Like, the monster skeleton for, like, the moveset or that, because I think it's one of the only monsters that, for having appeared so much through Monster Hunter as a series, the skeleton's never been used for new species or different kinds of monsters. It's always just been Kirin, or a Kirin subspecies. So, instead of, like, seeing new things, like, say, a stag-type monster, or a ram, or, like, some other hoofed animal, kind of like what Kirin is, it's just always been the same unicorn Elder Dragon. And I feel like that's a bit of a wasted opportunity with just, like, more could be done with it. So what we're going to do today is, well, I'll actually probably eat first here, and then I think we'll be easiest to go after Kirin with one of the event quests for World. I do have to double check to actually make sure that's the case, because otherwise we might actually be going out for a tracking expedition. But yeah, it's just a monster that I feel has been such a weird inclusion where it's like, yeah, it's part of World, but it can completely be overlooked and has no attention given to it at all. I don't know if it was just, again, they need an Elder Dragon for each area, and they couldn't think of one for the Coral Highlands until, like, Iceborne gave it a more, well, really more standout one, because Namiel is amazing. But it's just so weird to, like, have that gap where it is. Okay, right, so we're looking for, there's one somewhere in here for it, I'm pretty sure. Kirin the Myth has two, but I'm looking just go after one. Oh, maybe there isn't one for just a single Kirin on its own. Well, actually, this is it's even a low rank. Hang on, there's gotta be one for Kirin as just on its own, doesn't there? Look, this is getting even weirder. Maybe I will go on a tracking expedition, just because, I mean, there are the Arch-Tempered things, but yeah, that is bizarre. I don't want to go after the low rank, because that just feels like it'd be kind of too easy at this point. So I guess we'll go off to the Coral Highlands just to go on a tracking expedition. Or maybe we'll, actually, this might be interesting. We could go after Devil Joe, and then try to get Kirin's tracks on this hunt too. Because I mean, there is, no, you know what? I'd rather tackle Devil Joe with all of, like, the world build-up to him, because they do give him a really nice entrance and everything there. So we'll just worry about trying to track Kirin, get all the tracks, hopefully in quick progress, or quick succession, go after one of those proper, and then we'll do the story beat next episode. Because thankfully, again, I don't know if it was something done to, if it was how it always was in base world, if the I.C.E. made it easier, or a future update changed how many tracking things you needed for the Elder Dragons, but it didn't take very long to get all the tracks needed. So I just need to do a little bit of running around and see if I can find, like, some of the Kirin's tracks. I think they're just like how the other Elder Dragons were, and just like out and about in the environment. You just have to go exploring and finding them. Yeah, see, there we go. All electrified fur. That's... Oh, actually, hang on. Is that up here or is that down there? That might even be down here. Yeah, see, that's popping off, but I don't know where exactly it's popping off at. Oh, there we go. That is one thing where it's both handy and annoying to have the little notification to the left there. Because on the one hand, it's nice to know it's around you, but it doesn't, like, help you too much know direction-wise around you. Yeah, so let me just keep trying to see. I don't know... Okay, maybe over this way? No, okay, oh. I saw it. Oh, here we go. It doesn't look like I'm actually getting any progress to this. I'll try finding a little bit more, but it might be the case that I'll have to go just, like, maybe after the low-rank version. You know what? I will snag this just to kind of get an idea where the big Danger Joe is. Because it probably has a fairly wide patrol route with being the Coral Highlands. I actually don't think I've hunted many Devil Joe here. Yeah, no, I am not really getting anything progress-wise for finding these tracks. Well, we got some Grimalkine. Nope. Although they're not too happy with us for some reason. I'm not going to really focus on that. Again, this wasn't really a completionist playthrough of Base World. It was more so just trying to show off the I.C.E. as well as tackling the story. I'm still debating whether I will go through all of Iceborne 2 or not. I probably will at some point. I just don't know if I'm going to do that immediately next, or I'll take a little bit of a break for myself, too. As I do also have to keep in mind whenever we do see the next title update for Sunbreak. And I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't heard more word about that yet, because I think it's supposed to be sometime in April we'll see it. Well, this month. Oh, come on, let me up there. Okay, nothing yet. But there might be some things at the very top. So Spider-Man our way up this way. I hear sleeping? Okay, yeah, there is another track up here. Yeah, see, these are barely coming up. Okay, but there is more. Yeah, it's weird. I'm not making any progress on this tracking thing, so... I feel like maybe I have to head back and talk to the ecologist? I don't know what to say with that. Unless maybe you have to find the first track, then you open up, and then you can keep tracking? I do not know for sure. Again, Kirin is just such a weird... It's not that it's a weird monster for the list, but it's a weird monster in that it just doesn't seem like it's handled as you'd expect it. Oh, you did it. Hope the Yellow Dragons didn't bang you up too badly. Open way for that. What is it? Yeah, it's not... I do not know how to go about that here. It just says researching and there's nothing more, so you know what? I'm just going to go off on the low-rank event quest for it. It doesn't feel quite right, but it's also one of those ones where it just feels so weird to have been trying for it. So yeah, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to go with this. It's probably going to obliterate Kirin, but I'd at least like to show off the full monster roster for the game. It's just, again, super weirdly handled. I know there is, like, the Hunter rank version for a tempered Kirin. No, there's one. But it's also weird that this is just, like, a low-rank hunt as well. And Kirin is probably easiest fought using a ranged weapon just because of the ability you get to really aim for its weak spot, the horn. Well, that, and it's a lot easier to see, like, what's going on with the ground, too. But again, this feels like a skeleton that you could use on a lot of other monster types that's just never been done. Or if it has, it's not been with other monsters in the main series. I'm not sure if maybe, Frontier possibly has monsters that use the skeleton? Though I think the only thing that might have been a small monster. As you can see, Kirin's really not too troublesome of a monster for gunners. Because you are a little bit more used to, like, seeing the full field as you're fighting one, it's a lot easier to read, like, where lightning strikes are going to come down and what you have to be careful of. Oh, there's a nice blast proc. I think as long as nothing, like, damages the other Kirin, we only have to focus on one at a time. Actually, Dragon Pierce is probably wasted here. Yeah. Yeah, with its size, there's no point in using the Dragon Piercer on Kirin with its size. It's just so tiny. Nope. Well, talk about, I guess I was talking a little too big, so I deserved that to get knocked down into place. Oh, thank you, Runa. I do gotta admit, though, it is really fun actually having Dragon Element to be used. Having been a bow gunner and just, like, how they handled the Dragon Element, it feels really good to have this ability, or, like, it's kind of like an endgame thing opened up for me now. Although, I am a little surprised the horn hasn't broken yet. Oh, never mind. There it goes. Just like the other Elder Dragons, Kirin is one where the horn will only break once the health gets low enough for it. Nope. Just got smacked by him a bit there. Yeah, this fight would be a little bit more challenging in high rank just because of how much more dangerous the lightning would be. But a lot of it plays out close to the same, where it's just minding the ground for when he's doing a lot of the choreography for the strikes to hit. So, we'll just get those carved up. There's some old footprints and that around, so we'll just get those for tracking. Oh, hi! you made that pretty convenient for us. Thank you. Well, the one thing I should mind is my stamina through this. Nope. Let's get out of that. Now, there might be people who are probably going to be on me like, well, there was the arc-tempered Kirin, why didn't you just tackle that instead of doing this one? But, again, I want to do it more in relation to, like, world story in that. Because without a doubt, the arch-tempered one would be a real challenge to go for. I mean, that was the entire point of them for their inclusion with the game, or the updates. Oof. Right, again, gotta mind my stamina. Even if it's low rank, it still can pack a fair punch with its strongest attacks. Yeah, let's tenderize the head, just make this a little faster. Another nice thing, too, is, again, going after some of these monsters that used to really need the tenderizing done, and now you can just fight them without it being a big deal. Although my accuracy is definitely pretty bad. There you are. I was talking about how the skeleton is underused. I feel like the best place to use it might be as, like, a beginner monster. Like, really low stuff that's, like, one of your first ones you go after. Can I knock you around? Okay, not quite. So I'll probably have to follow it up to the nest, but that gives me a chance to at least pick up some more tracks and stuff. But yeah, early game monster, like something, say, Great Jagras, Great Jaggy, Kuluyaku, that sort of field where it teaches you a few simple things, and none of the moveset is that complicated to learn. That way you don't have to worry about tying an element to the monster, and just be, like, again, a Monster Hunter version of a deer or something. I mean, granted, that's what Kelby is, but... Oh, come on, get up there. Yeah, I guess we can speed through that. There are some footprints and things. Now let's snag that and go up. There we go. Now we're all set to climb up the rest of the way. There you are. And because we haven't used it yet, we'll do 1,000 Dragon Wake Up. Oh, nice work, Runa, with another Blast Blade. And shouldn't be much long before it's down. Ah, there we go. I don't think Kirin's a bad monster, it always feels like one that's kind of like this weird slid in to expand the monster roster a little bit more. It's never really tackled well. Like, even in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate when we did that series, it was, again, like a little bonus monster tied or tossed in after most of the story was done, or even after the base low rank story was done. It just feels like for like how many appearances it's had in the series, it's been a strange one for how it's been handled to me. The fights can be okay with it as long as there's like good visual of like what you have to avoid with the thunder strikes. But I don't think it's really until like World that we saw that really come to pass. I think a lot of like beforehand it was a little harder to see and make out like thunder strikes, so Kirin could be a little frustrating at times. But overall, just another monster hunted. A lot of low rank materials for whatever reason. And I do want to check if there's like anything for having done all that with the ecologists or not. Again, I thought maybe it's something that gets unlocked after the story beats? I don't know. Yeah, no, it doesn't seem like there's anything from him right now, so... It's been a weird episode, I admit that fully and outright, but we'll get things back on track to more normalcy next episode with going after the next story beat. Thank you all, though, for joining me on this episode of Monster Hunter World I.C.E. If you did enjoy the video, you should give it a like, and if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, push it in the comments right down below. Until I do see you in the next video, Hunters and Survivors, please remember, as always, to take care, stay alive, and happy hunting.